Psittacosaurus is the most successful dinosaur you've never heard of, with over 1,000 fossils discovered. But in this mist, popularity won't save him from the shadows. The struggle for life begins on the forest floor. This eye is designed to detect the slightest shift in the prehistoric wind. We are about to witness the heightened senses of a creature built to outsmart evolution. But today, the forest is hiding something even he can't see. Despite his small size, his legs are high-performance pistons designed for explosive acceleration. You will see how speed became the primary weapon of the Cretaceous underdog. Every heartbeat counts when the ground starts to shake. In this era, the sky was filled with predators that had perfected the art of the silent glide. We are entering the territory of a hunter that strikes before his shadow can even be felt. The canopy is no longer a sanctuary. Even a single breath can betray a hiding spot in the cool morning air. Watch as this animal uses absolute stillness to vanish into the landscape. But a hunter's nose can find what the eyes cannot see. This parrot-like beak was a specialized tool designed to slice through the toughest plants of the Cretaceous. We will discover why this unique design allowed him to outlast his giant rivals. The secret to survival is hidden in his face. When stealth fails, a 0 to 20 mile/hour burst is his only remaining hope. Witness the raw agility of a dinosaur that can pivot mid-air to dodge a killing blow. The race for survival has begun. To a Psittacosaurus, the forest floor is a high-speed labyrinth of thorns and obstacles. You are now experiencing the world from the perspective of the prey. One wrong turn means the end. Psittacosaurus lived in social groups, using the power of the crowd to baffle their pursuers. See how organized chaos can turn a predator's strength into its greatest weakness. The herd is his ultimate shield. The most critical warnings in this forest are often ones the human ear cannot detect. We will explore the subtle language of survival used by the world's oldest families. The alarm has been triggered. Eutyranus, the feathered tyrant of the north, is a master of the slow, freezing stalk. You are looking at the face of a nightmare that has hunted these forests for eons. The ghost has found its target. His camouflage is so effective that he can disappear in plain sight within a single second. Watch how biological engineering turns a living animal into a shadow. The green wall is his only salvation. In the moments after a chase, the forest returns to a heavy, breathless silence. We will feel the pressure of an environment where the absence of sound is the loudest warning. But the calm is only temporary. Counter-shading makes his three-dimensional body appear as a flat, invisible surface to the predator. You are about to see how nature's perfect cloak was designed millions of years ago. He is alive, and he is waiting. This small grazer outlasted the most powerful tyrants of the Cretaceous Age. This is the story of how the small inherited the earth through sheer resilience. The journey into his world starts now. This region was once a violent volcanic landscape that perfectly preserved entire ecosystems in ash. You will discover why this specific valley became the most important fossil site on Earth. The journey back in time begins with the river. These ancient forests reached heights that dwarfed everything living beneath their needles. We are entering a cathedral of wood and light that provided cover for millions of survivors. But even in this sanctuary, the air is thick with tension. The Cretaceous period was defined by a global explosion of green life that reshaped the planet's atmosphere. You will see how these plants fueled the greatest biological race in history. The floor is alive with the sound of the wind. Rivers were the lifelines of the Yixian, but they were also the primary cause of sudden, massive fossil burials. Witness the power of the water that would eventually turn bone into stone. The current carries the secrets of the dead. Insects have ruled these skies for millions of years, longer than any dinosaur. We are about to see the world from the perspective of the forest's smallest observers. The air is never truly empty. This mud is a biological ledger, recording the movements of 1,000 individuals in a single day. You will learn to read the stories left behind by those who passed through hours ago. Every step is a piece of history. While Psittacosaurus stayed low, giants moved through the canopy like slow-motion mountains. We are looking at the titans that define the scale of the Cretaceous world. The giants are moving to higher ground. The winds of the Yixian carried more than just seeds. They carried the smell of rain and fire. You will feel the shifting seasons of a world on the edge of a volcanic eruption. The wind is the forest's warning. In an instant, the humid heat can turn into a violent, cooling downpour. Witness how the environment reshapes the survival tactics of the forest inhabitants. The rain brings both life and danger. Volcanic ash turns the rivers into a thick, abrasive slurry that buries everything in its path. You are seeing the very process that created the world's most famous fossil beds. The Earth is preparing to preserve its history. As the sun returns, the forest begins to breathe, turning the storm's moisture into a thick, protective shroud. We are entering the golden hour, where the line between predator and prey is blurred. The air is alive once more. For these small survivors, the end of the rain is the signal to return to the search for food. Experience the high-stakes gamble of leaving the safety of the dark. The search for the next meal begins. Psittacosaurus were so numerous that they likely moved in waves across the Asian floodplains. You are seeing the sheer biological success of a creature that refused to be an underdog. There is safety in the march. In this world, the smallest mistake can be the last, making parental protection a vital evolutionary strategy. Witness the quiet bond that ensured the survival of the next generation. The future is walking in the footsteps of the past. To understand how these animals truly function, we must look closer than ever before. We are about to strip away the environment to reveal the secrets of their biology. The mask is about to fall. Psittacosaurus looks like an evolutionary experiment, combining a parrot's beak with the quills of a porcupine. We will peel back the layers of this bizarre design to see how it conquered its environment. The secret to its survival lies in its incredible anatomy. This beak could exert enough pressure to snap through the toughest prehistoric wood with ease. You are looking at the ultimate harvesting tool of the early Cretaceous. But this tool wasn't just for eating. The flared horns on its cheeks provided both a mounting point for massive muscles and a deterrent for predators. Experience the biting power of a creature that could process plants no other animal could touch. Strength is built into the bone. These hollow bristles are a biological enigma, predating the feathers of its more famous cousins. We will explore how these quills acted as a high-visibility warning to anything following too closely. The tail tells a story of defense. Its skin was a mosaic of tough, pebbly scales that provided a flexible yet durable shield against the elements. Witness the microscopic engineering that protected the survivor for millions of years. This is the texture of resilience. This dark back and light belly work together to flatten the animal's appearance, making it invisible to predators. Discover the ancient art of 3D camouflage that science only recently decoded. To be seen is to be hunted. The tail is more than just a display. It is a counterweight that allows for high speed, bipedal agility. You will see how this animal balances precision with power in every step. Every movement is a calculated act of physics. While its large eyes and small size look endearing, it is a focused and deadly efficient survival machine. Experience the moment a peaceful grazer transforms into a hyper-alert sentry. Innocence is its best disguise. In a group, there are always eyes on the sky, even when every stomach is empty. We will explore the social contract that kept this species alive in the shadow of giants. The group is the brain of the survivor. It is a primitive cousin of the mighty Triceratops, lacking the frill and horns of its later descendants. We are looking at the humble beginnings of one of the greatest dinosaur dynasties in history. Greatness starts small. Its olfactory bulbs were massive, allowing it to smell a predator or a forest fire from miles away. Witness the unseen radar that guides every decision this creature makes. The air carries the scent of danger. Its movements are twitchy and mechanical, reminiscent of a modern bird on high alert. You will see how these rapid-fire reflexes keep the animal one step ahead of a strike. To stay still is to stay alive. It moves with a quiet grace, using the thick ferns to mask the sound of its passage. Experience the silent world of a creature that thrives in the quietest corners of the forest. Silence is the sound of success. A sudden stop turns the animal into a statue, blending its counter-shaded skin into the gray tree trunks. We are feeling the tension of a world where every second is a life-or-death gamble. The forest has gone cold, but identity is only half the story. To survive, this grazer must become a racer. You are about to see the incredible agility that redefined what it meant to be small in a land of giants. Acceleration is everything. It is hard to believe that this creature, barely the size of a modern human's footprint, survived in a world of 40-foot predators. We will explore how its small stature was actually its greatest evolutionary advantage. Size is relative when your life is on the line. If it lived today, Psittacosaurus would be no larger than your family dog. Yet it was a master of a much more dangerous world. You are seeing the scale of a survivor that redefined the limits of speed. Every inch of this animal is built for a quick escape. In these dense Cretaceous forests, being small means you can vanish into the undergrowth in a heartbeat. Witness how the parrot lizard turns a simple fern into a fortress of invisibility. The forest floor is his greatest ally. Its legs are high-performance pistons, capable of explosive bursts that could outrun almost any pursuer. Experience the physics of a sprint where every millisecond determines who lives and who dies. The blur is the sound of survival. This animal doesn't just run, it zigzags with an agility that would baffle the most experienced predators. We will see how its low center of gravity allows it to change direction in the blink of an eye. Agility is the ultimate defense. For a creature this small, the forest floor is a parkour course where a single leap can mean life or death. Watch as it navigates a world of obstacles that would stop a larger animal in its tracks. The ground is merely a suggestion. Even a slip in the slick volcanic mud is managed with a recovery so fast it seems almost mechanical. You will see why this dinosaur was never down for long in the treacherous deltas of Asia. Resilience is a reflex. Its tail is a biological rudder, acting as a counterweight to keep its heavy head from tipping over during a chase. Experience the incredible engineering that allows a bipedal dinosaur to move with such stability. Balance is the key to the hunt. These toes are designed for maximum traction, allowing for a 0 to 20 mile/hour launch on almost any surface. Witness the specialized equipment that turns the forest floor into a high-speed racetrack. Every claw has a purpose. Every open clearing is a gauntlet where speed is the only thing that matters. We will feel the adrenaline of a creature that is most vulnerable when it is moving the fastest. The light is a danger zone. After a burst of speed, the body must recover, but the mind never stops scanning for the next threat. Watch how this animal manages its energy in a world where exhaustion equals death. The heart of a survivor never rests. The entire herd can lock into perfect stillness in a fraction of a second, vanishing into the background as one. Witness the collective intelligence that turns a group of individuals into a single invisible force. Silence is their strongest shield. One adult always stays alert, risking its own safety to protect the collective future of the herd. Experience the social contract that has kept this species thriving for millions of years. The sentry is the forest's first line of defense. For the young, safety is found in the shadow of those who have already survived the gauntlet. We are seeing the beginning of a life cycle that depends entirely on the protection of the group. The legacy of survival is a shared one. As the immediate danger passes, the rhythm of daily life returns to the ancient delta. You are about to discover the mundane routines of a creature that lived every day like it was its last. The forest floor is ready for the next chapter. Psittacosaurus needed to eat up to 10% of its body weight every day just to maintain its energy. We will see the incredible precision required to harvest a prehistoric breakfast. But the quality of the meal depends on a very specific tool. Its parrot-like beak was reinforced with keratin and was significantly harder than human bone. Watch as this sharp blade makes short work of the forest floor's toughest fibers. Selecting the right greens, however, is an art form. Psittacosaurus had the intelligence to sort individual leaves based on their nutrient density. Witness the selective grazing that fueled one of history's longest-running species. Yet eating the plants is only the first step in a complex digestive process. These dinosaurs intentionally swallowed stones, called gastroliths, to grind tough food inside their stomachs. We will uncover the internal mill that allowed them to digest iron-tough vegetation. Digestion is thirsty work, and the river is never far away. A single Psittacosaurus could drink liters of water in seconds to avoid staying exposed for too long. See the vulnerability of a thirsty animal at the water's edge. But the riverbanks are rarely clean. The Yixian mud was rich in volcanic minerals that could irritate or even coat a dinosaur's senses. Watch as this survivor navigates the messy reality of life in a volcanic delta. In a herd, even a messy snout is noticed by others. Psittacosaurus lived in complex social hierarchies that mirrored modern mammals. Experience the gentle social cues that bind this group together. These small gestures are the glue for the entire herd's movement. Herds of these dinosaurs could number in the hundreds, creating a massive wave of movement across the forest. You will see how a loose formation provides maximum eyes for maximum safety, and the next generation is paying very close attention. Juvenile Psittacosaurus learned exactly which plants to eat by mimicking their parents' movements. Witness the ancient classroom where survival skills are taught through imitation. As the sun climbs higher, the pace of the forest slows down. To avoid overheating in the humid Cretaceous, these animals spent hours in near-total stasis. Discover the importance of energy conservation in the high-heat tropics. But rest isn't just about sleep, it's about maintenance. Dust bathing was a vital tactic to kill skin parasites and remove excess oils from the skin. Watch as a dinosaur performs a ritual familiar to modern birds. A clean body must be shook dry. A full body shake from a Psittacosaurus could send its hollow quills vibrating like a rattlesnake. Experience the strange mechanical beauty of a dinosaur resetting its armor. The afternoon air brings a sudden change in pressure. The Yixian ecosystem was defined by near-daily microstorms that kept the humidity at 90%. See the forest transform into a shimmering world of crystalline green. For a hungry herbivore, a little water is no reason to stop. Rain actually softens the tough fibers of Cretaceous ferns, making them easier to harvest. Observe the persistence of a species that never stops fueling its journey. As the rain fades, the light begins to perform a final show. The golden hour in the Cretaceous was intensified by volcanic haze in the atmosphere. We are entering the most beautiful and dangerous time of day. The herd must move to safer ground before the light vanishes. Psittacosaurus had the depth perception to navigate narrow, high-altitude paths with ease. Watch a test of balance and nerve over a dangerous prehistoric ravine. One slip is all it takes to disrupt the flow. Despite the harsh world, Psittacosaurus groups displayed empathy by waiting for injured members. Witness the rare compassion that exists even in a world of predators. Once the threat of a fall is gone, the focus returns to the ground. A group can transition from high-alert panic to total calm in under a minute. You will see the incredible emotional regulation of a professional survivor. But a new sound is beginning to roll in from the horizon. Psittacosaurus could feel the vibration of thunder through the soles of their feet before they heard it. Feel the tension as the environment signals a massive shift. The weather is changing, and something else is moving in the dark. Most predators hunt under the cover of a breaking storm to mask their scent and sound. We are about to enter the most terrifying phase of the day. The routine is over. The hunt is on. Outsmarted was the largest feathered dinosaur ever discovered, weighing as much as a modern car. We are witnessing the silent approach of a 1.5-ton nightmare. The ground is about to betray the herd. Many predators in this forest use the sound of the wind to mask their own thunderous footsteps. You will see how the slightest shiver in a leaf becomes a signal for life or death. The silence is being torn apart. Psittacosaurus possessed a nearly 360-degree field of vision, making it almost impossible to surprise. Experience the split-second reaction of a community hardwired for survival. Every eye is now locked on the dark. When threatened, these dinosaurs form defensive clusters to protect their most vulnerable members. Watch as individual survival is sacrificed for the safety of the collective. The wall of quills is their only hope. One adult often moves to the perimeter to act as a living radar for the rest of the family. You will discover the high-stakes gamble of being the first to face the unknown. The sentry is waiting for a sign. Cretaceous tyrants use the heavy morning fog to get within striking distance of their smaller prey. We are looking at a predator that has perfected the art of the long-distance gaze. The trap is finally set. In these moments of pure terror, the heart rate of a Psittacosaurus can triple in a matter of seconds. You are now inside the mind of a creature whose world has just narrowed to a single escape route. The lunging force is imminent. A Outsmarted can accelerate from a standstill to 30 miles per hour with a single push of its powerful legs. Experience the sheer velocity of an ambush designed by millions of years of evolution. There is no time left to think. The parrot lizard's legs are specialized for short-distance, high-energy bursts that can outmaneuver any giant. Witness the incredible acceleration of a survivor in a full panic. The chase has officially moved to the open ground. Splitting into multiple streams is a mathematical tactic used to overwhelm a predator's focus. See how a simple division of the herd can save dozens of lives in an instant. The hunter must now make a choice. For a juvenile dinosaur, a single misplaced step on a wet route is often the difference between a life and a meal. Experience the terrifying vulnerability of being small and grounded in the middle of a hunt. The window of safety is closing. Adult Psittacosaurus were known to place themselves directly in harm's way to allow the younger generation time to escape. You are witnessing a rare display of parental selflessness in the prehistoric record. One life is risked for another. At high speeds, a 2-ton predator carries too much momentum to handle the sharp, low-angle turns of its prey. Watch as the forest itself becomes an obstacle for the hunter. The giant has lost its advantage. Zigzagging is a complex neural response that forces a predator to constantly recalculate its path. Discover the geometric genius of an animal that turns its small size into a weapon of evasion. The gap is widening. The sound of a Psittacosaurus alarm could likely be heard for miles through the humid Cretaceous air. We are exploring the sophisticated vocal warnings that kept these families one step ahead. The message has been sent. A failed hunt costs a predator massive amounts of energy, often leaving it exhausted and vulnerable. Witness the frustration of a titan that has been outmaneuvered by a creature 1/10 its size. The hunter must wait for a new day. In the aftermath of a hunt, the forest returns to an eerie, breathless stasis where every sound is amplified. You will experience the heavy atmosphere of a world that is always watching, but the silence won't last. Psittacosaurus groups showed high levels of social cohesion, often waiting for every member to return after a scatter. We are seeing the emotional logic of a community that survives as one. The family is whole again. For the young, a hunt is a traumatic lesson in the harsh reality of the Cretaceous food chain. You will discover how early experiences of danger shape the instincts of the world's most successful dinosaurs. The huddle is their sanctuary. Many theropods mark their territory with deep claw gashes, a warning to rivals and prey alike. Witness the permanent signature of a killer that still haunts these woods. The forest remembers its hunters. Nightfall brings a complete shift in the hierarchy of the Yixian, as the cold-blooded retreat and the active hunters emerge. We are entering a world where light is the only protection. The shadows are coming to life. The Cretaceous moon was slightly larger in the sky, casting a light that was both bright and deceptive. Experience the nocturnal landscape of a forest where every shadow has a heartbeat. In this light, anything can be a threat. Many nocturnal predators possessed a tapetum lucidum, allowing them to see clearly in near-total darken. Discover the unseen eyes that have been tracking the herd since the sun went down. The dark has found its target. To survive the night, Psittacosaurus relied on total stillness and the natural camouflage of their counter-shaded skin. Watch as a species hides from the terrors of the night in plain sight. They are sleeping on the edge of a blade. Every dawn is a victory for those who survive the darkness of the Yixian. You are seeing the resilience of a life cycle that has repeated for millions of years. The journey of the little survivor continues. Psittacosaurus possessed a beak with a self-sharpening keratin edge stronger than high-carbon steel. You will see how this precision tool could harvest hundreds of pounds of foliage in a single day. But the real power isn't in the edge, it's in the engine behind it. This small dinosaur had a bite force relative to its size that rivaled the king of tyrants. Witness the grinding motion that could pulverize the toughest prehistoric wood into paste. Processing food is essential, but doing it safely requires a collective effort. These groups function like a single superorganism, moving with the precision of a modern-day school of fish. Discover how a simple walking pattern created a mathematical shield against predators. At the center of this shield lies the species' most precious cargo. Psittacosaurus is one of the few dinosaurs known to have multi-generational nurseries, with one adult guarding dozens of young. Experience the complex social bond that turned a vulnerable hatchling into a veteran survivor. When protection fails, only one thing matters: raw, unadulterated speed. A Psittacosaurus can reach its top speed of 20 miles per hour in just 3 strides. Watch the physics of a biological engine designed for high-stakes, life-saving acceleration. But in a dense forest, speed is useless without the ability to turn on a dime. Their unique hip structure allowed them to pivot mid-air, making them the most agile targets in the Cretaceous woods. Witness the forest parkour that allowed them to literally run circles around much larger hunters. Yet sometimes the best way to outmaneuver a predator is to simply disappear. Science has proven that Psittacosaurus used counter-shading camouflage millions of years before modern animals. See how its dark back and light belly flatten its shape, making it a ghost in the dappled sunlight. While hidden, the herd relies on a rotating system of watchers to stay ahead of the game. Members of the herd took shifts as sentries, meaning someone was always watching the horizon for danger. You will see the tactical intelligence of a species that refused to be caught off guard. Survival also meant knowing when to move as the seasons transformed the world. Psittacosaurus was a dietary generalist, capable of switching from soft ferns to hard seeds as the climate shifted. Explore the biological flexibility that allowed this dinosaur to inhabit a dozen different environments. But nature's changes weren't always slow and predictable. Flash floods in the Yixian could move at speeds that buried entire herds in seconds. Witness the split-second decision-making of a group fleeing to higher ground to escape a wall of mud. When the water settles, the air itself can become a weapon. Cretaceous storms could generate winds strong enough to snap ancient conifers like toothpicks. Experience the raw power of a prehistoric typhoon and the instinct that kept the herd grounded. After the storm passes, the struggle for calories begins anew. Psittacosaurus could return to its normal heart rate just minutes after a life-threatening catastrophe. Discover the incredible emotional resilience of a professional Cretaceous survivor. However, we must stop seeing them as helpless pets and see them for what they truly were. Psittacosaurus wasn't a cute bird-like lizard, but a rugged, armored generalist with a bite like a vice. We will strip away the modern myths to reveal the gritty reality of a wild survivor. The true essence of this animal is found in the intelligence behind its gaze. Their eyes were among the largest relative to their body size of any dinosaur, providing unmatched low-light vision. Peer into the ancient intelligence reflected in a gaze that watched the world for 20 million years. But even the most successful individuals eventually reach the end of their journey. A single Psittacosaurus lived a life that was a constant cycle of birth, growth, and survival. You are about to enter the most intimate chapters of their existence, from the first crack of an egg to the final march of an adult. Psittacosaurus eggs were buried in warm, volcanic soil rather than built into nests, using the Earth's own heat for incubation. You will discover the high-stakes gamble of a life that begins underground. But the real challenge starts the moment the shell breaks. Each clutch could contain over 30 eggs, a massive biological investment in a world that eats the weak. Witness the fragile beginning of a creature that was destined to inherit the Asian floodplains. The wait is almost over. Hatchlings emerge from their shells fully formed and ready to run within minutes of their first breath. Experience the raw vulnerability of a 2-ounce survivor facing a world of giants. The race for the first meal has begun. The first thing a baby Psittacosaurus learns is that safety is found in the shadow of its elders. We will see the beginning of a social bond that defines a species' success. The giant's shadow is its first sanctuary. Young Psittacosaurus had to eat nearly their body weight in soft greens every few days to fuel their rapid growth. Witness the precision of a small beak designed for the forest's most tender delicacies. But strength isn't just about food, it's about agility. Juvenile dinosaurs practice their escape maneuvers daily, turning play into a life-saving rehearsal for a real hunt. You will see a clumsy novice transform into a high-speed master of the woods. Practice makes perfect when failure is fatal. An adult Psittacosaurus would face down predators 10 times its size to protect the next generation. Experience the collective courage of a herd that functions as a single, impenetrable shield. The nursery is safe, for now. In just 3 years, a tiny hatchling transforms into a powerful, armored subadult, ready to claim its place. Discover the biological accelerated growth that allowed this species to outpace extinction. The lanky runner is becoming a powerhouse. As they grow, subadults begin to test the boundaries of their safety, venturing further into the dangerous open ground. We will see the transition from fearful prey to a confident master of the delta. But confidence can be a deadly trap. A single brush with a predator is the ultimate teacher for a young dinosaur learning the rules of the Ixian. Witness the near miss that will define the survivor's instincts for the rest of its life. Wisdom is often born from terror. By adulthood, the parrot lizard is no longer just a target. It is a sentinel of the ancient Asian forests. See the face of a creature that has survived every trial the Cretaceous could throw at it. The master is now in control. When the ferns of the home valley failed, these dinosaurs would trek for miles to find new pastures. Experience the epic scale of a species that refused to be anchored to a single dying forest. The journey is the only constant. Year after year, the survivors repeat the same cycle of vigilance, feeding, and growth. You are watching the ultimate biological routine of a creature that lived for 20 million years. But even the strongest routines eventually break. Every peaceful morning was a hard-won victory for a species that existed on the edge of a predator's jaw. Discover the quiet dignity of a dinosaur that became a champion of the early Cretaceous. This is the calm before the world begins to change. The time of the parrot lizard is drawing to a close as the world it knew begins to vanish from the geologic record. We are entering the final chapter of a legend that lasted eons. The shadows are waiting to claim the survivor. Rapid climate shifts at the end of the early Cretaceous turned lush paradises into dust bowls in just a few thousand years. We are witnessing the beginning of the end for one of history's most resilient dynasties. The wind is carrying the scent of change. The lifelines of the Ixian were vanishing, leaving the survivors with fewer places to drink and more places to die. You will see how a shifting landscape can be more lethal than any predator's jaw. The river is surrendering its power. Psittacosaurus had to travel 5 times farther for a single meal as their fertile feeding grounds began to shrink. Experience the endurance of a creature that refuses to stop even when its energy is nearly gone. The next patch of green is miles away. At its peak, this species existed in the millions, but now the vast herds have dwindled to a few desperate groups. We are watching the slow erasure of a population that once dominated an entire continent. Safety in numbers is becoming a memory. When food disappears for the grazers, the hunters become increasingly desperate and aggressive. Witness the terrifying pressure of an ecosystem where everyone is running out of time. The hunt has become a struggle for both sides. Superstorms at the end of the Ixian era were powerful enough to level entire forests in a single afternoon. You will see the physical destruction of the only sanctuary these survivors ever knew. The world is breaking apart. The clearing that once buzzed with the social calls of 1,000 hatchlings is now hauntingly silent. We are standing in the middle of a world that is preparing for its final blackout. The herd is gone. It takes only a few minutes of heavy rain to erase the physical evidence of 20 million years of life. Witness the symbolic end of a dynasty as the mud claims its final traces. The memory is being washed away. The early Cretaceous ended not with a bang, but with a slow descent into an eerie environmental silence. You will feel the weight of a world that has finally run out of room for its masters. The forest has stopped breathing. Geological time can bury the greatest stories under miles of stone for 70 million years. We are about to cross the threshold into the modern age, where the stone finally speaks. The hunter and the hunted are now one with the earth. Over 120 million years after its death, a single brushstroke brings the Psittacosaurus back into the light of the modern world. We are unearthing the most well-documented dinosaur in history, with fossils so perfect they include skin and internal organs. The silence of the stone is finally breaking. This fossilized beak is so well preserved that it still reveals the wear and tear of the animal's very last meal. Modern technology now allows us to reconstruct the exact bite force of a creature that has been dead for eons. From a single fragment, an entire life begins to emerge. We have found hundreds of complete skeletons. We know more about the daily life of Psittacosaurus than almost any other prehistoric animal. Witness the physical architecture of a champion that outlasted the most famous tyrants of the Cretaceous. But bones are just the beginning of the restoration. Using preserved pigment cells found in its fossils, science has finally reconstructed this animal in its true living colors. Experience the transition from cold, ancient bone to the living, breathing master of the Ixian. The museum walls are about to vanish. Though the world of the Psittacosaurus is long gone, its legacy as the ultimate survivor remains written in the very earth we walk upon today. We have journeyed through millions of years to witness the resilience of the forest's little survivor. The forest is quiet now, but the story never truly ends.